Last year, when we tested the Pixel 3 XL and the iPhone XS Max, the iPhone just dominated the Pixel, beating it by over a minute. But this year, things might actually be different. The Pixel 4 now has 6GB of RAM instead of just 4, and it's also the first phone we're officially testing with Android 10. Now, that said, unfortunately, Google decided to stick with the slower UFS 2.1 storage instead of 3.0, and they also stuck with the regular Snapdragon 855 instead of the 855 Plus, which, considering how powerful the iPhone 11 Pro has already proven itself to be, it's going to be interesting to see how the Pixel 4 stacks up. Like, will it get embarrassed like it did last year, or will it be able to redeem itself? Let's find out. After the test, be sure to check out the official speed test rankings on our website, which we created using Wix, the sponsor for today's episode. With Wix, you can tap into the power of your smartphone by building your own website using artificial design intelligence. Just answer a few questions, upload some of your photos, and pick a theme that best matches your style, and then have AI do the rest, building you a professional website that looks great on mobile and on desktop. Try it out for yourself at the first link down below. Okay, so we'll kick things off by starting the stopwatches on each phone and then jumping into the first row, where the iPhone is able to get the step over the Pixel in Facebook, but the Pixel is able to quickly recover in Starbucks and takes the lead as both phones began working on Word. But with the iPhone just ripping through that 500-page document, it's able to take the lead right back as it blazes through Excel and already moves on to the second row. So a pretty big lead for the iPhone very early on in this speed test. We'll see if the Pixel can make up some ground here in the second row, as both phones work on Snapseed, adding not one, but two different filters to the same exact photo. And unfortunately for the Pixel 4, it does look like it's editing this photo at a slower rate. Even worse, it's about to move on to the video exporting test here in Adobe Rush, an area where the iPhone has always been dominant thanks to its A-series chip, and just like expected, the iPhone powers through Adobe Rush without a problem, with the Pixel clearly rendering this video slower as well. So things are beginning to get ugly. The iPhone is showing no signs of slowing down here in the gaming row, with it already finishing up with Subway Surfers as the Pixel finally finishes up with Adobe Rush, and with the Pixel also loading this Google Trend search slower, the odds of the Pixel 4 making a comeback here in the first lap are almost slim to none. However, it is worth noting that the iPhone 11 Pro did struggle a bit in the second lap when it went up against the Note 10 Plus earlier this year, and with the Pixel 4 finally having more RAM, it might just be able to recover in the second lap. Of course, in order for that to happen, the Pixel has to stop the bleeding here in the first lap, and unfortunately, not only does the Pixel load both Subway Surfers and flip diving at a slower rate, but it also loaded Fit the Fat slower as well, allowing the iPhone to pull a full 4 apps ahead of the Pixel as it finishes the first lap with a time of 1 minute and 50 seconds. So just an outright dominant performance by the iPhone in lap number 1. So dominant in fact that even if the Pixel is able to keep all of the apps open and ready to go in lap number 2, I don't know if it'll be enough for it to make the comeback. The iPhone is just 6 apps away from completing the test, while the Pixel is still working on the first lap, finally completing it 27 seconds later. So a huge cushion for the iPhone. Even as it fails to keep Excel and Word open, the Pixel is still really far behind. But the good news for the Pixel is it is at least managing to keep these games open and ready to go, something that the Pixel 3 wasn't able to do last year. So a definite improvement, but not enough for it to beat the iPhone, with the iPhone completing the test with a total time of 2 minutes and 39 seconds, with us fast forwarding the Pixel to the finish line, where just like the iPhone, it failed at keeping both Word and Excel open. However, it did manage to keep Starbucks open on its way to completing the test 36 seconds later with a total time of 3 minutes and 16 seconds, making the winner by a huge margin, the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.